The following transmission is an utterly nonsense podcast exclusive presentation. Cue that motherfucking 8-bit intro.
Bing Bing Wahoo, and welcome to the special E3 episode. We're talking about video games this time, and I have a special guest, longtime friend. Say what's up, Tyler.
Sup.
That's right, that's his signature intro. So, we play a lot of games, and we watch E3 all the time, mostly for laughs, right?
Yeah, we watch E3 every day.
Yep. We even go back and watch old ones to laugh at how silly they were. Because what inevitably happens is they announce all these games, and they're like, you expect to see gameplay, because that's what a game is, right? But instead, we're shown a Netflix catalog of movies. Yeah, so you just sit back and kind of enjoy the ride. I don't know, what do you think?
Well, I mean, obviously, that's a big problem with E3. They just show all fucking movie trailers. Nobody gives a shit, though. I mean, obviously, like, it's nice to have, like, a cinematic trailers and games, but when it comes to E3, I want to see gameplay, and I guess sometimes it's okay. Doesn't really matter that much. It's just, if the game's coming out this year, I expect to see gameplay. If it's coming out in, like, 2 or 3 years, you just wanted to put up some nice video trailer to say, hey, we're working on this. It's not coming this year, but it's coming eventually. I guess a video trailer is fine. So you can't really expect it to have smooth gameplay by then.
Agreed. So I guess we'll go right down the line here, starting with the first conference, which was EA. So what did we see in EA? We saw Anthem, which is, what was that? That was like flying in jetpacks around a forest, like mech suits or warframes or something.
Yeah, that looked pretty good.
Yeah, it looked alright.
Honestly, it's EA. I'd be surprised if they don't fuck it up. But from what we saw, it did look pretty promising. Very nice looking 3D environments, great lighting, great graphics. The classes seemed in order. Like, you know, standard, like, one guy's got a machine gun, rocket launcher, probably flamethrower, probably some guy's melee, who the hell knows.
My only concern with that game is that it'll be like another Destiny thing where, yeah, it looks really cool, and it has all these cool-looking sci-fi things and environments, but when it comes down to it, it's just another grindy game where you go in and shoot a bunch of creeps and just farm for resources to do the next mission.
Yeah.
I don't know, I feel like that's what it could be.
When it comes to grinding games where the main goal is just fight enemies, not really explore or do side quests or all sorts of stuff, the characters have to feel really fun to play. Like, the guns have to feel amazing, yeah. And the enemies have to feel really smooth to fight. They can't just be like, you do damage and they die. There have to be, like, mechanics to each enemy that makes them individually fun to fight. So I'll stay on topic and get on to the next game.
Right, so
which I believe was Battlefield 5.
Yeah, there's Battlefield 5, which is World War II. Why? Because Call of Duty did it, so let's get back to it.
Yeah.
And now you can play as a woman with a hook arm.
Well, I have absolutely no problem with being able to play as, like, colored people and women in games. The problem I have is, like, they keep trying to make World War II. They keep trying to play, like, the same cards every game. It's like, well, what's this game about? World War II. What's this game about? World War II again. Again and again and again. It's like, why don't they just, like, it would make more sense. People would stop complaining so much if they just decided to make their own timeline. Just make your own country that are battling and make, like, your own, just pick whatever weapons. Like, oh, this is an alternate universe where there's no America. There's just They just make up some country names and have them fight, and then you'd be like, oh well, there's in this world everyone's equal.
Kind of like an Avatar with just nations and weird mixed and matched technological eras. Because it looks like they're in the Dark Ages, but then they have tanks.
Yeah, I mean, just do literally whatever you want, and then nobody can complain because, oh well, World War II didn't have women. Oh, but in this other world where they have the same stuff as we do, there is women in it, so doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, they also always like to play it safe, and they always get out of ideas. Like, first there was the modern warfare trend, and then everybody got bored of that, and that was after a World War II trend, and then they had sci-fi war, which is its own thing that they don't dip into too much, unless they already did. And now they're like, well, what do we do? Back to World War II. Other than those, we had a couple indie games, which, I don't know, and a bunch of sports shit, so that was about it for EA. Other than Anthem, pile of shit.
Yeah, that's all we cared about, at least.
Alright, so Microsoft. Microsoft had a lot, surprisingly. A lot of games. So, the first, probably the biggest thing they started with was Halo Infinite. What is it? Nobody knows. Could be a battle royale. But all they really said was that we're developing a new game engine so that this thing can be exactly what we want it to be. So, I think maybe it'll have an open world aspect to it. Otherwise, why make a whole new engine?
When it comes to like a big developer like Microsoft, they want to make as much money as possible. So usually the idea of making an engine is either you want something to do, you want it to do something that no engine right now can really handle very well, or you want to make as much money as possible from a game. Because like obviously, in case anybody didn't know, if you try to use an out-of-house engine, you immediately lose like 30% of your profit right there, or maybe it's 20. I don't know. It's like 20 to 40. I know Steam takes like a huge amount, but basically, yeah, if you use like Unreal, you're losing like 20-30% of your profit right there. So
yeah, and
that's a big advantage. The disadvantage is obviously engines are very hard to develop, and if you make a shitty one, then your game's gonna look and feel like shit. So performance problems are a big issue.
Just maybe might be making this engine and intending for it to go on another new Xbox. I don't know.
Yeah, well, the thing is, with engines, you can reuse them for other games. So if you develop a bunch of games, putting the effort into making engines could pay off big time.
Yeah, so what else do we have? We had Crackdown 3, delayed again. I don't even know. Or is this the first delay? Who knows? But they put Terry Crews in it, so the trailer's funny. So it's worth watching the trailer.
Honestly,
at the very
I've
least.
never played the games. So
I had played the demo of Crackdown 2 it was on Xbox. You can download it for free, and it was pretty damn fun. You like run around a city in a power suit, more or less, and there's like gang members you can fight. There's zombies at night. You can drive vehicles, and as you do stuff like jump around, you'll gain upgrades, and you'll jump higher, be able to lift heavier things, and you just progressively keep getting more overpowered until you're just like hopping around buildings like the Hulk.
that sounds fun.
Yeah.
It's always fun to have an overpowered character in an open world that can just run around, kick the shit out of stuff. So
Yeah, so
could be a good game.
could be good. Metro Exodus. You played Metro.
Metro 2033 was very good. I love the environments and diversity of that. Metro Last Light, it was fun, but the bosses were kind of fucked. Like, I felt like every single boss I had to just, even if I saved all my ammo, like as much as possible for just the boss, and had all sorts of special like the good quality ammo, I would just, even if I hit it in only its weak spots, I would just exhaust all my ammo and have to like knife it to death. So that was kind of fucked, because the whole point of Metro is like ammo conservation, and like if you start using your good ammo, you're basically using, because ammo is used for money in that game, so you want to really conserve that so that you can buy good weapons and stuff.
So it has like a survival aspect to it, kind of.
Yeah, it's very like, it's post-apocalyptic, so basically you gotta preserve as much as possible. Like the good quality ammo is basically used as money, because in a world where there's monsters everywhere, good quality ammo is much more valuable than coins. But at Metro, either way they're good. So hopefully Metro Exodus fixes those problems and just has, because the environments were really nice. in Metro Last Light, so I expect good things from it.
Moving along, we saw Kingdom Hearts 3. Should we talk about that now or save it for Square Enix?
We can talk about it now. It's basically everything we've expected.
They didn't show a whole lot of gameplay, I don't think, but they show, like, of course, another movie trailer. And the funniest thing to me was you see, like, Mickey looking through, like, a portal or something, and he's like, "Oh, what's going on?" And then this, like, evil person's like, "You are too late, Mickey." Oh, shit! It's so ridiculous.
That's basically the problem everyone's had with it. I know you've never played the series, but basically there's this evil organization called Organization 13 that tries to make everything all serious, but it's just a big joke because, all the characters are, like, the two of the main characters are Donald and Goofy. I think that says it all. Like, it basically takes away all the seriousness of the game.
They're coming around for another attack! Well, I'll shoot them with my laser cannon! I'll stab them with my sword!
And it's like, it's just kind of like, I don't know. It's not serious enough. Like, there's too much disparity between serious moments and just ridiculous moments.
Yeah. Well, the big question for this one that remains unanswered is whether we'll see Marvel or Star Wars stuff in it. Because in the trailer we see Frozen, we see Tangled, it's Toy Story, Monsters, you see a little bit of Hercules. What else?
Well, the fact that they didn't show any of that in it probably means there's not going to be any, because it is coming out early next year. So I think if they wanted to show it, they would have shown it already.
Yeah. Maybe there'll be like a little Easter egg that hints at it or something. Because, I mean, they can, but...
I feel like one of the biggest selling points of this game is you got all these different movies that everybody loves, and it kind of expands the market.
They better have Incredibles.
So if they were going to have that stuff in it, they would have shown it. Because, like, Marvel and Star Wars have huge markets.
Yeah, I mean, I'd understand if they keep those separate, because they don't really belong with Disney characters, but I'm telling you, if I don't see Mr. Incredible in there, it's going to be a problem. I don't even play it, so it doesn't matter. What else? Forza Horizon, whatever. Same thing as the others. Tons of DLC.
Yeah, just cars.
Yeah, it's cars, whatever. Division 2, another post-apocalyptic thing. I'm not really sure what the Division is. I haven't played it. It looked alright, I guess, but it looked pretty generic. Like, oh yeah, the funniest thing was they showed, quote-unquote, gameplay of, quote-unquote, players playing it, and they had, like, this super serious commentary, like, Tango, 30 clicks to the left. I got your 6. Like... Nobody talks like this when they play games, you realize. We just sit here and bullshit.
Hey, there's a guy over there. Got him. All right, let's move out. And fuck. I'm down.
You're like, shit, shoot that idiot over
there. Guy. Holy fuck. Kill this guy.
Yeah, so that was funny.
But
Tomb Raider 3, same thing again. Devil May Cry 5. Interesting one, because there was...
DMC, that actually, I haven't played any DMC games, but that one looked really fun. He's got, like, this hand that, like, opens up and shoots lightning. And, the classic sword you can hack and slash with, revs it up. Yeah,
well, they had that in, what do you call it? DMC 4, because I think it's the same main character. He just got a haircut this time, and his arm looks different.
Yeah, Nero.
Yeah, so whether they would make 5 was in doubt, because they released... 4 special edition, and they said, we'll make 5 only if this sells well. So I guess it was satisfactory.
Sold well, huh?
But the aesthetic kind of looks like the last DMC game, which was like a spin-off reboot kind of thing. It was.
I mean, it looked good to me. Dante. I don't know what people that really play the series a lot would say, but it looked fun.
Yeah, I bought it. I still have yet to play it.
Isn't it coming out? I believe it's coming out on PC as well, right?
Yeah, they're all on PC.
Yeah. Well, a lot of games come out initially on consoles and then come out later on PC. Right. This one, I believe, is scheduled to come out at the same time.
Yeah, did you notice? They kind of changed that, where things come out on, like, everything at the same time now, unless they're console world premiere exclusive.
Well, I mean, it showed in the Xbox, it showed in the Microsoft presentation, so obviously it's going to come out, like, who knows, a week, a day early on Xbox.
So then we had Jump Force.
Jump Force, your standard Bandai Namco. Bandai Namco does, like, tons of fighters. So
what we see is a city, and then we see Naruto, Goku, the guy from One Piece start fighting Frieza, and we're like, what the hell is this? And then at the very last part of the trailer, you see freaking Light with
Like,
Ryuk
yeah.
standing there. It's like, what is he gonna do? Write their names down? And then Goku gets a heart attack.
You know, it'd be funny if they made him really defensive, and like at the beginning, he just has a move that like starts a 40-second counter. Like if you don't beat him in like 40 seconds, you just lose.
Maybe.
That'd be hilarious.
I don't know if it's a fighting game or what, but Jump Force obviously is because it's all Shonen Jump characters.
Yeah, Shonen Jump. That's where Jump comes from.
So
obviously,
again, no gameplay, just a movie.
Dying Light 2 was revealed.
Oh yeah. I like
Looked
Dying
pretty
Light 1.
decent, but I mean, I really like the first game, but honestly, I haven't played even half of the DLC campaigns, so I feel like before I would buy and play Dying Light 2, I would just play more of those campaigns, especially since they came with the DLC pack that I got, or the what was it? The Steam sale gave away.
Enhanced edition or something.
Yeah, Enhanced edition comes with like at least one campaign. So
Right.
I feel like it'd be years before I play that because I played the crap out of the first one. Just Cause 4.
yeah.
Honestly, it looks really good.
It looks like
Just Cause
Just
3.
Cause 3.2.
It looks like Just Cause 3 with more enemies, more guns, more cars, and a new map, which is pretty much what you want in a Just Cause new game at this point. It's one of those games where like new environments can make it fun, as opposed to like just putting a new map doesn't really necessarily make it feel like a new experience.
So what else? They showed Gears 5 they're gonna make, and some kind of Halo Wars type thing called Gears Tactics.
Gears Tactics is essentially it's basically looks like XCOM.
Yeah.
So that looks fun.
And then the other big reveal, I think it was big, Cyberpunk 2077. Another movie. I don't know what kind of game it is.
We saw no gameplay, but you know, Cyberpunk's not a very used genre, but it usually delivers in terms of like how fun it is and having unique environments. So
Yeah, hopefully it's closer to something like Deus Ex and not Detroit Become
not the
Human.
new one.
Not the new one, yeah.
Uh,
So Bethesda's next. We have Doom Eternal, another movie, so whatever. Fallout 76, looks like Fallout 4, but with online.
yeah, online, completely online, has you can just join other players at any time.
Yeah, build
That's like so
bases,
big.
kind of like Rust,
Yeah,
I
you can
guess.
build you can build bases anywhere instead of just the main town. So that looks good. And you can also like raid certain bases in order to launch nukes at certain areas on the map.
Oh, yeah,
So you can
that
just-
sounded interesting.
that sounded interesting. Like you could have like a tribe of your friends that just build on like a server, and then just like some other tribe could like get mad at you
Yeah.
and like get a nuke.
The funniest thing was the video where it's like, normally your neighbor would come over to ask for a cup of coffee or something. Now they might be coming over for murder.
Yeah.
It's very tongue-in-cheek kind of thing.
I mean, honestly, I haven't really been into the Fallout series ever, but this one at least looks much more interesting than the last entry. So anyone who likes that will really like this one, probably.
Yeah, probably. So Starfield is some new IP in space. We don't know anything else. Let's just show the title.
Oh yeah, they just showed the title. Yeah, there was so many things with star in the name. I'm getting them mixed up.
Anything in space has the word star in it that they can't think of anything else.
Yeah. Elder Scrolls 6 got revealed. They trolled like 4 times with that. They were like, Elder Scrolls Mobile, Elder Scrolls this,
Elder Scrolls
that.
or Skyrim
And then-
Key and Peele edition.
Yeah, they had a Key and Peele skit. Or it was just, was it just Peele? I always get their
Key?
names mixed up.
Keegan, he the bald one.
Yeah, I guess so. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, it was him. He's like playing it on his Alexa and then a refrigerator. Basically making fun of how they keep porting this game to everything and how
Yeah.
it's in every single E3. So Ubisoft, Beyond Good and Evil 2, pirate game called Skull and Bones, which is, I guess, a complete version of the pirate ship mode of Assassin's Creed 4.
Yeah, it's basically expanded just pirate ships. So people that like the pirate sailing around and shit from that game will be happy to hear that you won't have to follow people around like you do in normal Assassin's Creed, watering down the gameplay. It's only pirate ships now.
Yeah, there's actually a few pirate games we saw. There was like 2 trends. Star things and pirate things.
Yeah. So that looked pretty cool.
The other thing that stood out, as they left for the last, was Assassin's Creed Odyssey, in which you play as Ezio Auditore as he puts on a hat and then travels around the world going on an adventure. Waha!
But actually, it was you can play as a male or female. It's still got the stupid follow quests where you just walk next to somebody while they talk to you for like 5 minutes. So that's a big problem that all the other games had, and they still haven't fixed. The standard cookie cutter combat. So honestly, it just looks like just another Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, another Ass Creed 2, but in Greece.
Yeah.
With Spartans.
It's basically just Ass Creed 2 in Greece. I don't expect much more from that. Did you mention Starlink?
I was saving that for last. Starlink. Another space game. Not quite sure what it'll be, because they still only showed a movie.
Well, no, actually.
In the Ubisoft thing.
If you watched the Nintendo conference, they showed this is leading up to, one, it'll be on all the consoles, including the Switch.
Yes.
And two, they also announced that Star Fox will be a playable character in it.
Freaking Star Fox. I remember as I was watching it, my other friend, he was saying, because, it's like people flying around in space like a space shooter, so then they just, like, start showing a close-up of something with fur, and he's like, well, what is this, Star Fox? And then, like, 2 seconds later, it is Star Fox. It is! What the hell is going on?
Yeah. From the gameplay that they showed in the Nintendo E3 press conference, it actually looked really fun. Basically, the clip that they showed was Star Fox's ship flying around some big spider-looking mech thing and just shooting lasers at it. So that looked actually pretty nice. So it looks like a spaceship combat game. I'm guessing you'll be able to shoot things on planets and as well as shooting stuff in space. And the environments on the planets look really nice.
So it's like a space game with Fox as a guest character because Nintendo blew it with the last Star Fox.
Yeah.
And they're not going to make
Might
any
as well
more.
just put them in a good game. In case you didn't know, Star Fox, the last one, Star Fox Zero, came out to around 400k sales, which is just around that of Black Ops on the Wii U. And nobody gets Call of Duty on Nintendo consoles, so that just shows how badly it's sold.
That's pretty sad.
Yeah.
Let's get to the big, steaming, heaping dumpster fire that was the Sony conference. It starts out very strangely with some guy playing a flute with like the Chinese rice farmer hat. I have no idea what that was, but it led into some samurai game that looked alright, I guess.
Yeah.
It looked okay. I'm not sure exactly what kind of game it is. RPG or whatever.
They announced that there was a few samurai games thrown around a few of the conferences, so they just all kind of blended together by that point.
Yeah. We were treated to a Last of Us 2 movie. A hard R rating for what they showed. It features lots of lesbian hard petting. No, not really. But they show the main character and, I don't know, it's her companion, partner, whatever you want to call it. And
just making it out.
I'm assuming that she gets killed by this gang because she's like viciously killing all these people. So I guess the second one will focus on her.
Yeah.
What else?
The combat from what we saw looked pretty decent actually, but
yeah, but it had the classic Sony over-the-shoulder third-person 24 frames movie feel to it.
Yeah. Resident Evil 2
remake.
Yeah, a remake of Resident Evil 2. So that looked, I haven't played any Resident Evils, but anyone who liked the older versions.
Yeah, they made a remake of the first game, and it was well received, so I guess this one will be similar.
They actually showed some gameplay of Death Stranding, which is Kojima's new game after he left Konami.
Yeah, kind of gameplay, but mostly movie.
No, they did show a decent amount of gameplay. Basically, just
it was just walking.
It was a guy with like a backpack, something that you would use on like a mountain climbing adventure.
Mountain climbing adventure.
Yeah.
I'll take it easy when I'm dead. And then there's ghosts floating around, and he has a baby thing to, I don't know.
There was all sorts of, basically like a very realistic post-apocalyptic exploration game where like you have to climb around, you have to hunt for like food or whatever, and if you get like injuries, you have to spray disinfectant on it, like pick your toenails off. I don't know why they showed that in the trailer, but that was kind of gross.
Shock value.
He literally pulls his toenail off.
I was eating when that happened, and I was like, I didn't need to say that.
Yeah.
And the other main thing they showed was Spider-Man, which I like to call Spam Ham, because it's like Bam Ham, which is Batman Arkham. It's like Spider-Man Arkham City, let's face it. The combat's quite similar, at least functionally. The swinging looked okay.
Did see a game called Neo 2. From what I saw, it looked pretty fun.
Yeah, I don't even remember what it is. That's about it for Sony. But the reason why I said it was a dumpster fire is because they started with, what was it? It was either the Samurai thing or Last of Us. No, they started with The Last of Us. And then after that movie, they just had all these people talking. I don't know why. They were talking about nothing because they didn't really show anything. And then most of the game reveals were just long movies. Movies. Now finally, we've saved the best for last. Not really, but Nintendo, we have to have a talk. We have to talk Nintendo. Where's the games?
Well, let's
Drake, where's the games?
For some people, I could see this being like it's very mixed. Like certain people say, "Oh yeah, this Nintendo E3 was great," and then other people is like, "This was shit." I'm kind of one of the people that says this is shit.
What's great about it?
Let's just start by quickly listing off the games. Daemon X Machina, which is some like mech battle game where you have these mini mechs and you gotta fight these big mechs.
Yeah, I guess it's like Armored Core because it's made by the creator of the Armored Core series. So, I don't know.
Xenoblade 2 DLC, Pokemon Let's Go, which we already knew about, Mario Party, Fire Emblem, Smash Ultimate, which is not a port.
Well, let's talk.
Octopath Traveler, which we saw for like 1 second.
The more interesting thing was what they didn't show. Where are your other franchises? Where's Pikmin 4?
Yes.
You said it was coming. Where is it? Where's Metroid Prime 4? Said it was coming. Where is it?
Yoshi was revealed last year, but we didn't see anything from that either. Animal Crossing hasn't seen a new... basically, the previous Animal Crossing games had 4 or 5 years between them. This one, it's already 6, and we haven't even heard anything. I thought this year is going to be the year, but I guess not. I surely hope that they don't think those spin-off games count as being actually games.
They're really not. They're as much games as those offshoot sports thingies that they had on the Wii after Wii Sports. I want to talk about what is Let's Go, because as far as I can tell, it seems like a launching off point for casuals who just played Pokemon Go.
Yeah, it's basically a casual Pokemon game, and it's trying to bring in people that play Pokemon Go and didn't get the battling mechanics that they were promised. It's pretty much confirmed to not be a mainline entry, so anything that's happening in this game will not carry on to the next games. They may, if this one sells very well, they said they might make Let's Go versions of other games, so we might see Let's Go Johto, Let's Go Ho, and all that.
But if you've been somebody who's been holding out for a mainline title on the Switch, you'll have to wait till next year.
Yes, Gen 8 game is confirmed to be coming out second half of 2019. So basically just in terms of Nintendo, just wait till next year.
So let's talk Smash. So what do we have? It's called Ultimate. Why? Because it's more or less the Ultimate Edition of the last game on the Wii U. Why do I say that? Well, if you look at it, it looks exactly the same in terms of the visuals, and it has all of the characters from the last one, plus any of the ones that were cut from Melee or Brawl. So it's got everybody who was ever in it. Ice Climbers are back and all. And Snake is back. And they added Daisy. Here's the thing. They add Daisy, but not Waluigi. What the hell? Why is he still at Assist Trophy? No respect for the purple.
There's no excuse. He was first added in tennis. You just had a Mario tennis game. They didn't even show that, which I was surprised about.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah, they can't say that, oh, he has no games. Come on, he's in Mario Tennis. What is Daisy in?
They had this very nice, very sexy animation for his special attack. So they can't just say, oh, well, it's too much work to make a moveset, because you already have his Final Smash right there. He grabs a rose in his mouth, spins around, and then goes, wah!
Yeah.
Smacks a ball at the screen and blasts a bunch of people off the stage.
What was it? At the end of the trailer, it says, everybody's here, and then it's just Waluigi, like, turning his hand down right underneath it, says, "Not everyone."
Not everyone.
And they finally put Ridley in, believe it or not.
Yeah, he's actually in it.
The jokes are over. The debates on the 4chan threads are finished. Ridley's in it, so you can all shut up.
Inkling is in it.
Oh yeah.
So that looked, it looks like it'll play fun. I never played Splatoon, so
yeah, and
not my kind of game. But
they didn't show off any modes. All they showed was that they changed all the final smashes so that any ones that like transformed you into something, it's not that anymore. It's just a single hit, bing bang boom, and it's done for all the characters. Other than that, stages, they have a couple new ones and a lot of old ones. Because again, this is not like a totally new game. They said, let's just repackage all the other games and put something that's definitive. So it's like anyone who never played the other games, just get this one, I suppose, since it has everyone ever in it.
Yeah. The thing is, I was just really hoping that this Smash would bring something really new to the table. And in fact, it did the polar opposite. It brought everything old to the table with very few new things. So I'm hoping that they just announce at least like 3 or 4 more characters to the roster before it comes out, because otherwise I'm just gonna have almost no interest in it. Like if a friend comes over and brings his Switch and just says, "Hey, let's play some Smash," I'll be like, "All right." But otherwise, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna go out and buy it.
Well, we'll see what happens in the coming year, because they said, well, I guess 6 months. They said the release date's December 7th, but we'll see. Most of these games all are either coming out the end of the year or next year, so things could always change, and we'll probably forget 3/4 of them by the time they come out. So that was everything E3 that stood out to us. That's our thoughts. Do you have any closing statements? I don't.
If Animal Crossing doesn't come next year, what the fuck, Nintendo? I mean, I said that for this year. I've been expecting it for the last like 3 years. It's my most anticipated game, and I just get disappointed every year in a row. Honestly, I should just delete Animal Crossing from my memory. That way, every Nintendo, because every Nintendo for the last 3 years has just been a disappointment because there's no Animal Crossing.
Give us Metroid already.
All right, so that's it. That's everything. Oh, and to Mike, if you're listening to this, I told you I knew about other games. I told him, why do you only like normie games? He's like, oh boy, Elder Scrolls 6. I'm like, dude, it's just a title. Shut up. Diversify. All right, that's it. We're done. Signing out. At the outro, lay us out.